Alright guys, today I'm going to talk about the Pelican Intruder 12, give a full review of the mods I've done to it, stability, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, the trailer, and just go through everything, what I've done to it, where I bought things from. I've gotten a lot of questions on this thing, I've told people that I was gonna do it the next day or the next week or the next month, and I'm sorry. I just wanted honestly to put more time with it. I needed more experience with it. I needed more test runs. I needed more experience with it, and so I could give people honest reviews. So this is the Pelican Intruder 12. I got this at Brass Pro Shop for $750. Really not that bad of a deal. And then I had the trailer already, but I got the boat from Bass Pro Shops for $750 back in 2020 in March. So I've had the boat a little over a year. I got the motor from Bass Pro Shop as well. It's a 3.5 Merc. I love it. It's my first outboard motor that I've owned for myself. It's also my first boat that I've ever owned for myself. So let's just go ahead and talk about kind of the accessories first. So I have the fish finder mount that I got from, shoot, I forgot where I got it from. Where did I get this thing from again? Oh yeah, Scotty mount. I ordered it off Amazon. I think it was for like $30. The reason why I wanted this one is that it had the transducer arm on it, and it also had a swivel. The swivel for the fish finder on it, so I can just easily to just remove the fish finder on it. And what I do have of the fish finder is a Garmin Striker 4. It's $100 from Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, Academy. They're all about the same price. I like it so it's just easy to understand. Pretty basic. Bolted onto the boat. This is a recent mod that I just did, but I like it. I like the way it works. I can tell what fish are on there by now after reading and educating myself. Then I go to the seats. The seats I got from West Marine. Let me move this one to the back or to the front. The seats I got from West Marine, and the seat mount adjusters I've got through West Marine too. Can't remember how much the seats were. I can't remember how much the mount was. And in the previous video, if you've already seen it, I tell you how I adjusted this to make it fit for these bench seats that have these ribs on them. And what I did was basically these came already shaped something else, and what I did was get a bench vise, and I bent it out like straight, and I molded it so that it clamps onto these bench mounts a little bit better. They've held up, they've done their job. Nothing special, nothing too expensive, but it does allow a little bit more comfortability. And they swivel, so that's cool. You can swivel around in it. Crates, obviously I just got from random garage sales or work. Nothing crazy about those. I have a bunch of cleats that I put onto here where I've made holes into the boat. And that's gonna happen with any boat. And what I did was just basically made a big hole, a square hole, so I can bolt these cleats onto the rim of the boat. And I I bolted them with lock nuts, nylon lock nuts, and then I just put a duct tape over the hole because I tried sealant, but it didn't really stick to this plastic. And then I just put on a vinyl like cover on it, and I just screwed that to there. And I'm not saying that it does the job, but it does the job for me. Nothing too special with these rod holders. Obviously these are just universal that I got on Amazon. Nothing too crazy. They just come with a long stem. I'm not sure if I have any out right now, but you probably know what they look like. They just come with a long neck, and what I did was just drill down into the bolt to the boat, and another nylon washer, and I made like a little PVC gap because there was just too much space. And then I just have washers in between the PVCs to allow the rod to move, the rod holder to move, and so it's not like too far down into the boat. Basically just make it a little bit more stable, and if a fish pulls on it, I mean, it works all right. What I also did was do a homemade anchor winch. This was from my old boat. I can't remember it was to. I think it was to the bunks on the trailer, which was actually this trailer. But what I did was I was like, you know what, this makes it, if I put the steel piece on here, it'll make it so it kind of stays onto the rim a little bit better, just for stable. I wouldn't recommend this thin of rope to the anchor. It's not that great. I'm gonna improve this idea a little bit better, but this is what I came with what I got. And you know, you just throw the anchor out, and you can turn it to get the slack, or just to winch it up. You probably know what I mean. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've done to the boat. I put little Velcro patches here and there for lights, and at nighttime, so I got lights. I just got the typical screw-on lights, nothing special, that you just get on here, screw on here. Nothing special. Pretty much all I've done to the boat as far as mods. Nothing too crazy. I mean, I didn't want to drill and make a dozen holes in this thing. Yeah, much I already kind of did, but I didn't want to like mod it too much, because it's not a bass boat, it's just a little John boat. There is some other Pelican intruders I've found on Instagram that, you know, put a whole deck on there and everything. But I'll get to why that sucks for the stability reason of this boat in a minute. But other than that, that's as far as all the mods I've done to this. And again, if you want to look at what I did to customize these bench mount seat mounts, you'll have to look at my first video that I made on it, where it talks about mods or something like that. I talk about how I give a little demonstration of what I did to it. Oh, spider in here. So let's go to the trailer now. Trailer, I've already had it, and again, I talk about it in another video of what I've done to the trailer and how I built it. And my idea again that I got was from another YouTuber that I been following for a while, is Zoafinger. I can't really pronounce it, but I'm subscribed to him. A lot of people are. He customized a trailer to make it like a flatbed, and I thought it would be really perfect for this boat, because he actually did it for this boat, and I just mimicked the style and I did it. This was for a V-haul, but I took off the bunks and basically just where the trailer was just left flat, and I just put a 2 pieces of plywood on there, bolted the first piece to the frame, and then carpeted the second piece, and then bolted that one to the second piece that was to the frame. And then I changed out the front roller to just some 2x4s with another piece of plywood on there, carpeted it so it just cushions it better. Put a dolly on there. That's pretty much all I did to customize the trailer. Nothing else too special. And I just put these side bunks on here so the boat doesn't rock side to side. It's been holding up pretty well. The only thing I do have to change out constantly is the lights. For some reason I just can't find a good pair of lights that stay on during when it gets flooded or underwater. But that's about it. Yeah, I just have a 3.5 Merc that pushes it. I do have a trolling motor, a Mini Coda, like a 30-pound, that I'll put on the front sometimes when I'm bass fishing. But other than that, that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy to maneuver on this thing. It's not too heavy. I've gone over the weight limit plenty of times, filling this boat up with 2 people plus gear. Even just by myself, it still pushes it pretty good. With the 3.5 on there, it pushes it about 6 miles an hour with 2 people, and those 2 people have all their gear with them. Catfish, bass gear, life jackets, gas, batteries, cooler, food, drinks, all that stuff. I would say we hit, what's a recommended one? 395. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we at least get 500 to 600 pounds in this boat and push it across the lake. Other than that, that's all I've really done to the boat. I've done some other things here and there, but since then I've critiqued it and kind of made it a little bit more efficient and better. Most important thing was getting this mechanism, the Scotty mount with the transducer on here, so it's just easier to look at the mount when I'm standing up, and it's not like all up in the boat and stuff. And so again, you can look at my previous videos that I have on this to see how I adjusted the seat mount to these bench seats because of these ribs right here. And then you can see better pictures that I'll also include in this video of how I built this trailer, and I'll talk a little bit more through that. I'll start showing you stability tests and talk with you through that when it's on the water, during the seasons, during the conditions of good and bad, and then that will finish it up. Also, I forgot to add that I also built this dolly for this boat for situations where places don't have boat ramps. And let me pull it out a little bit. It's not the best dolly. Like I said, I got this wood from work and I just built it. Saw a similar idea on Prentice. Or Pinterest, I mean. And what you do is just pick the boat up, shove this right underneath there, even out the weight in the boat so that it stays level when it's flat. And then all you do is just push it around. I'll tell you, it's a little difficult going up hills, but it did the job last week for its first trial run. I will improve this a little bit better, probably put another piece of I got some plywood back there that I'll probably lay on it and carpet it, maybe not, but definitely put some hooks on there that I could strap the boat to, just so it gets a little bit more traction on this thing. But I have this built so I can move it down a hill or down on concrete sidewalk if I have to, if the place that I'm going to doesn't have a boat ramp, just to make things a little bit better. Now when you load that, you can either just put the boat on the ground, load it up, someone lift the boat up from the front end, stick it under there so it teeter totters, or you can just put the boat on there and someone hold it while you load it. Honestly, just putting the boat on the ground, loading it, and then someone lift it up that's a little strong, and just shove that thing under there to the middle part, and just make sure the weight is equally balanced, so when it teeter totters, it's not sagging on the front end or back end. And that's about it. I'm gonna go inside because I just came out here to kind of clean up the garage a little bit and move my fishing gear out of my car. I'm gonna go back inside and start putting on some of the footage that I've been on the water and stuff like that, and I'll walk through that. Alright guys, so let's take you to the water. I'll show you stability with 2 people on here, and then I'll tell you a few things that I do before I even make a trip out on the lake or anywhere else. Well, rivers and ponds, not so much of a big deal, but the lake is. And one thing I do first is always check the weather. Check the weather 24 hours, check the weather 12 hours. Always just look at the radar to see what's coming in, what's going out, because this boat is plastic. I've been on the lake where all of a sudden a storm just comes in, winds are blowing 15 miles an hour, it's white capping, and this boat will get tossed around. What sucks is that this 3.5 can only do so much, and you really have to know what you're doing to get yourself out of those conditions. Luckily, we've had a few experiences of those situations, but I've learned my lesson. I only take this boat out when it's no more than 10 miles an hour in any direction of wind, unless you are in cover, you're in a cove with tree line, some type of wind cover that blocks you from the wind. And that's the most important thing with this boat. Look at that fatty. That's one of the fishes Jacob caught that day on my birthday in March. Right here, we're both standing up. I'll talk about the stability right now. We're both standing up, going back and forth, tossing this fish back and forth to take pictures with it. When we're standing up, we talk to each other. When we're standing up, we communicate who's sitting down, who's standing up, because with 2 people on this boat, it can be kind of tricky, especially with all that gear on there. Like I said, that's about 600 pounds probably on that boat, when it's only recommended for 395. So we always communicate with each other when we're standing up or turning around. When we do stand up, we keep our feet wide to the edge, so it just gives us a better base on standing. I'm holding up a 20-pounder right there that I caught earlier that morning. Nice fish. So when we stand up, we spread our feet to the edge to get a wider base, and we just communicate with each other so we don't end up tipping the boat or throwing one of us off the boat. We got pretty good confidence with each other now. I'm over here standing, driving the motor while he's standing, pulling up jug lines. He's obviously, leaning over and stuff like that. We've got a pretty good connection when it comes to the boat because of the experience now that we have on it. But when you're by yourself, it's a lot better. But when you're with someone else, it's very important just to be really on the same page, just communication, making sure, hey, bro, I'm standing up, I'm turning around, I'm doing something, don't move. Because that boat, is only like 36 inches wide, and it's plastic. It's not the best stability wise, but you definitely just want to be communicative with your partner on there. Other than that, the motor, like I said, with all of us on there, pushes about 6 miles an hour with all that gear that you see on there. With myself, probably close to 10, depending on the wake. If it's glass, I'd probably go about 10 miles an hour. All right, talking about the trailer real quick. As you can see, I have the frame of the 2x4 on top of the trailer, where I bolted that to the trailer. Wherever there were metal and the cross beams crossed, that's where I bolted the 2x4 frame, the picture frame I would call it, to the trailer. And then I laid plywood on top of the 2x4 picture frame. That was my workstation. And bolted all that. And then I put another plywood and I carpeted it. And then I bolted that one to the second one. And this is where I'm making the bunks for the side. It was a rough day. I did that in the summer. But that's what it would look like when it was done. I think it turned out really well. It's very convenient pulling in and off and on the trailer. I have another video, like I said before, where I go through it a little bit better. And that's what it looks like underneath. Pretty basic. But that's pretty much of the trailer. Alright guys, to finish this video off, I'm sorry it takes this long, but I want to make sure I get all the intel that y'all been asking for. Overall, I do love this boat. It's obviously gotten the job done for us. The pros, that it's gotten me on the water. It's put me on the fish. The cons is that it's not a bass boat. It's not gonna, don't expect too much out of it. It's just a little John boat, so, and it's got a 3.5 on there. It could probably handle a 6, maybe even a 9. But I'll probably put a 6 on it eventually, just to get a little bit more speed out of there and go from there. But I love this boat. If you have any other questions or concerns, just shoot a comment or message me on my Instagram. I've been answering almost every question that I come across about this boat, and if I missed anything, don't be afraid to ask. I usually try to get back to you right after you ask. I'm pretty quick on responses. Let's see if I can remember anything else, but other than that, I think that's about it. I'm just gonna showing just a couple clips and pictures of the boat posing in the water, but overall, it's been a pretty good boat. That was a windy day, too windy to be on the water, so I immediately came back, took a picture with it, and got out of there. I should have never even been on the water. You know, like I said, don't ever put the boat on the water past 10 miles an hour. It just gets too crazy. Took a little night picture right there. And that was a windy day as well. We had a banket. It was getting too crazy out there, white cap and all sorts of stuff. And then another picture of it being on some glass. It's a pretty nice boat. I like it, guys. If you have any more questions, don't be afraid to comment. And thanks for watching. Bye.